Well, Slunch, how you do, Buckaroos? How the heck are you? So I had an idea. I had an idea, man. So I have a beer. I had a beer, Jackie O's. It's their Brick Kiln Cherry Cordial Bourbon Barrel. It's a barley wine ale aged in bourbon barrels. So I was trying to come up with like a cherry cordial old fashioned. So here's what I came up with. And where is it, man? I thought I had it here. Oh, I left it over there. Bear with me. We'll be right back. So I decided to use this Watershed Distillery Barrel Strength Fall Finishing Series. This is their aged 5 years version. It is at 118.1 proof. Let me show you that whiskey there. So I used this particular whiskey. I did a cherry vanilla simple. And then I added both cherry and cocoa bitters to this, trying to mimic a cherry cordial. And I haven't tasted this yet, so let's see how we did. Oh gosh, I did good. Tom, that is not served over ice. No, it's not. So it is technically an old fashioned, I suppose, because of the simple or the sugar added. I don't know. I may try to come up with a different name and leave out the old fashioned, but I wanted to serve this straight up, the same way I would serve a Manhattan. Because a drink like this should never be put on ice. Or served on ice, let me say that. You want it good and chilled, but you do not want ice in here. Oh, this is so gorgeous. I was wondering if I might need more cocoa or more of a chocolate note than just the bitters. But I didn't want to do a chocolate simple. I didn't want to add chocolate to it, so I was trying to figure out. But for me anyway, just the addition of the cocoa bitters works. There may be some out there that would want more chocolate note. For me, I wouldn't change a damn thing. Oh, fuck me. And the horse I rode in on. That is good. Yeah, so that was the bottom line, though. I did want to serve it more like a Manhattan. It's not a Manhattan because I'm not using a sweet vermouth. I'm using a simple, which is more of what you would use for an old fashioned. But it was meant to be a fall cocktail, and a fall cocktail does not need ice. I just think a lot of folks have been conditioned, right? Bars have told you that you need this great big cube. It's all about a perception, a look. But for me anyway, most cocktails are better served without that chunk of ice in it. I just am one of those folks that prefer a straight up cocktail. Meaning I want it good and chilled to start with, but I don't want ice in the cocktail. I want it just like this. So my simple, I use dark cherries, raw sugar, and bourbon vanilla. And then I used, again, cherry bitters and cocoa bitters to give me that little additional. I don't know. It may not need those cherry bitters. In all honesty, I may cut them out because since I'm using a cherry simple, I may not need the cherry bitters. Just do the cocoa bitters. But as I was putting this together, the cocoa bitters were almost an afterthought. I thought the cherry bitters. I said, oh, cocoa, I need cocoa bitters in there. So I forgot I had the cocoa bitters, so then I added them. So nevertheless, wow, it's good. And for you folks at Watershed, yeah, I don't give a rat's ass if you like to make it at your place. If you like it, keep the recipe. I don't give a rat's ass. Go ahead and keep it. You don't owe me a damn thing. Just thank me later. Buy me a drink at some point. Start me a tab. Whatever you gotta do. I'm just here to help, man. I'm an idea man. I'm a problem solver. It's what I do. I gotta tell you, I do love the Watershed products, though. I entered a lottery, if you will, for the ability to purchase a bottle of their, yeah, I don't know, for the ability to purchase their 6-year-old fall finishing series. The next one aged in apple brandy barrels. So it turned out I was selected to purchase the bottle, so I did purchase it. But I've got to have a friend pick it up because the Ohio laws don't allow shipping. So I've got a friend that's going to pick it up for me at some point. I'll have to find a way to get it. But nevertheless, it was one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. I figured, what the hell. At the time I signed up for it, though, to be honest with you, I didn't read the fine print. I was thinking it would happen during that time I was there, and it didn't, so. But I will tell you, I really enjoyed Watershed. They were very good. I love the dinner we had there. I liked it more than my wife did, but nevertheless, I enjoyed it. The halibut was cooked perfect. But man, they did this barrel old fashioned that was insane. And the products that I brought home are just incredible, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say that the cocoa bitters is enough. I think any more might be overpowering if you wanted to add chocolate to the simple. I don't think so. Not for me anyway. But I think when I make this again, though, because I'm using the cherry simple, I think I'm going to eliminate the cherry bitters. Just add the cocoa bitters to accentuate the chocolate more. To do kind of like a cherry cordial cocktail. I don't want to call it an old fashioned. I've got to come up with something else. Got to come up with a name. I'm not great at names though. I'm gonna come up with a cocktail name for it. Because when you say those two words, when you say old fashioned, people automatically think big cube, right? So if it's called an old fashioned, they already think that's supposed to be served on ice. So I need to come up with a different name. So folks know it's meant to be a straight up cocktail. So there you go. Anyway, slancha. God, that is good. That's one of the best cocktails I've ever come up with. That is genius. If I do say so myself. You want to pat yourself on the back some more time? Yeah, it's really good, man. I gotta tell you. I will tell you though, growing up Irish Catholic, with a father from the greatest generation, you got to learn to give yourself your own attaboys because they're not going to give them to you. You're not going to get any compliments ever. They will let you know when you screwed up. And if you didn't screw up, if you did it right, nothing will ever be said. So that's how you knew you did it right when no comments were ever made. Oh, good. Dad didn't say anything. I must have did that correctly this time. That's how that generation worked, man. You didn't get compliments. You just didn't get smacked on the head. And anytime you didn't get smacked on the head, that was a compliment, I suppose. So by golly, I've learned when I do something right, I'm going to tell myself, Tom, you did good. That's delicious. Anyway, I digress. You didn't get a backhand to the head. You did good. Anyway. My youngest brother and I will tell stories to people about our upbringing. They'll just crack up. And we will too, to be honest with you. We're laughing as we're telling these stories. And people think we're making up half of it. And if anything, we're toning it down. We're not embellishing anything. If anything, we're backing it down a bit. Anyway, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. But let me walk you through this one more time. This is the Watershed Distillery Barrel Strength Fall Finishing Series, aged 5 years, finished in port barrels. This stuff is just amazingly good. So what I did here with this is, like I said earlier, I made a cherry bourbon vanilla simple. So it's 2.5 ounces of the whiskey, about 3/4 ounces simple, a couple of dashes of cherry bitters, a couple of dashes of cocoa bitters. However, if I make this again, I'll probably eliminate the cherry bitters because the cherry simple is enough here. Wow, this is just delicious. So anyway, sláinte. Thanks for tuning in.